Guys, I have such an exciting video for you right now. I am about to tell you the first time I went on a date with a girl. This story, it's kind of long to be honest because it's the first girl I dated, first girl I went on a date with, basically. I'm pretty sure. The first girl I actually had very strong feelings for, and the first girl that broke my heart. There's a lot that goes into this story, and I'm really excited to share it. I actually have not ever shared this story in full in I think a long time, or ever. This is the first girl I went on a Tinder date with. I did date a girl in 8th grade, but it was never a grown-up adult relationship, so I don't really count that going on a date with a girl. I don't know, in 8th grade you're just like, hey, we're girlfriends. Done. And then you make out and go to the movies. That was probably my first actual date with a girl, but this is the first one when I officially came out in 2015. It was the first girl that I went on a Tinder date with. Here we go. Let's just get into it. Oh God, there's so much that goes into this story. I found this girl on Tinder. She was blonde, blue-eyed, I think blue-eyed, maybe not. She was a STEM. She had long blonde hair, but dressed very tomboy, a little bit skatery, and she was a hairdresser. So she had a lot going for herself. I felt like she had her life together. She was a couple years older than me. I think she's 2 years older than me. She just seemed like this perfect all-around girl for me. We were messaging here and there, back and forth, and then we decided to meet up at a coffee shop. I got there, I was shaking, I was so nervous. My hair was humongous. It was so fluffy that day. I don't know why I didn't straighten it. And it was green, and she was a hairdresser, so I was so shy and scared for her to see what I looked like. I remember what I was wearing. I was wearing denim on fucking denim. I was wearing these ripped denim jeans that I got from my work with a denim jacket and a button-down denim shirt. I looked so crazy. That was my outfit with green hair. And I probably was wearing blue Converse. That was my go-to look back then. This was 2015. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I get out of my car and I see her as I'm getting out of my car, and she comes up and says hi. Right away, I had the biggest butterflies in my heart, in my stomach. I was freaking out because I thought she was so cute, so beautiful. She was about the same height as me and had a little button nose and big giant lips, and she just looked so pretty to me. I was like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. We go into the coffee shop and we're chatting, and she kind of I guess gets the vibe that this is the first time I've gone on a date with a girl. So she kind of asked me a little bit about my dating history and stuff, and I tell her it's the first time I'm going on a date with a girl. I remember her asking something along the lines of how do you know that you like girls then? And that was heartbreaking. I was like, oh my God, this girl's never gonna see me again because she thinks that I'm experimenting in college, even though I have the hugest crush right now and I want to jump her bones. That was our first date. We ended up realizing that we lived 3 miles apart from each other, so we lived so close to each other. And in LA, that is very rare. LA is so big that what are the chances that you live 3 miles apart from the girl of your dreams? We end up hanging out a few more times. She comes over to my place, I go to her place, we go meet for dinners. I remember her favorite movie was Pitch Perfect, and so I got tickets to Pitch Perfect and didn't tell her about it and was like, let's go on a date. And she was like, where are we going? Are we going to a concert? And I'm like, ooh, we're not going to a concert. I mean, that would have been a good idea, but we're just going to the movies. I went to a house party with her and her friends and got to know some of her people. But yeah, we did a lot of different things together. And so now things were starting to get not serious, but to the point where I was like, I feel like we should be, getting intimate. It had been a few months at this point. And this was a time when I was having some sort of funky smells going on down in my downtown, you know what I mean, was not smelling super fresh. Let's go a little bit further back. The girl that I was obsessed with and her friend were both hairdressers. So my friend decided to go to them to get her hair done because they both did different things. One of them did dye and one of them did cuts. So she started going to them because I introduced them one time. She loved how they did haircuts and everything. So she started going to them, which keep in mind because that comes up later in the story. So this friend, the one that goes to them for hairdressing and all that, I was like, girl, I don't know what to do because I'm crazy about this girl and I don't want things to get heated in the moment and then maybe we have sex and I don't know what to do. Because like I said, this was the first girl I went on a date with. First everything, besides sex. She was like, well, I want to experiment, so let's do it together. So this is when me and my friend, I'll say her name, I don't think she cares. Me and my friend Erica decided to have sex together and figure things out together. Fast forward again. Downstairs started smelling a little funky, I swear to God. Because every time I was like, girl, you should spend the night, da da da. And she was like, no. And I could have swore it was because of that. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that is why. Because I wouldn't spend the night either. I'd be like, girl, you need to get yourself checked out. You need to get your hoo-ha smelling fresh for me to spend the night. Like, not gonna happen. So I remember being like, oh, you should spend the night. You should spend the night. And she was like, no, I'm gonna go home. Okay, deuces. Don't worry, we are all cleared up now. I think it was like a yeast infection. I don't really know what it was, to be honest. I went to the doctor like later on. That's a whole nother story. But anyways, at the time, I feel like that is what ended up breaking us up, girl. I feel it. So we never ended up getting to get down and dirty in the sheets. We never did that. But I remember the last time we hung out, we were hanging out with her friends. Oh my God. I hung out with her friends a few times and I was always so shy around her and her friends because I literally thought this girl was perfection. She introduced me to her dad, I remember, and her stepmom. We all went to dinner together and I was so nervous, you guys. Like, I was literally so nervous. She introduced me to her family. I was freaking out. And then she introduced me to her friends and I was still like so shy. Like, I could not be myself. Like, this was the first time I dated a girl and I thought she was literally drop dead gorgeous, like perfect person, like marry me please. Like, she is the one. She is the one to put a ring on. So I was just always paranoid. I was just like freaking out around her friends, trying to be fun and like lively, but I was just so shy because it was just so, I don't know, I was going through it. And normally, like, I'm a pretty outgoing person when I'm comfortable, but for some reason, like, I was just so uncomfortable because I thought she was perfection. So yeah, I remember the last time we hung out, she invited me to go hang out with her and her friends around Culver City. Like, we literally just walked around Culver City. I don't know what we were doing. But we walked around Culver City. I think we like smoked. I don't even remember. Did she even smoke back then? I don't even know if she smoked. I think I smoked because I was just freaking the fuck out. As we were leaving, we were walking back to the parking garage and we both were parked in different parking garages, I'm pretty sure. And we kissed in the middle of the street. And I remember it feeling so magical, but also really sad. I remember thinking this is the last time I'm gonna see her. And it was. I don't know why, like, it was such a fun night. It was such a good night. I don't know why I thought like, I'm never seeing her again. Like, there was just this feeling in me. Maybe it was something she said or like her vibe. I don't really know. But anyways, I did never see her again. Like, that was it. So after that, I went home the next day or maybe a few days later. She texted me a long paragraph and right when I got it, I read like the first sentence and then I just threw it to my friend and I was like, is she calling it quits? Like, is she breaking this off? And my friend was like, yeah. And I was like, delete the text. I don't even want to read it. And I deleted the text and I never read that text message. I don't know what it said. But yeah, she broke things off with me. A few months later, I think she was seeing somebody else that was a singer-songwriter or something. So good for fucking her. After that, I was very salty that my friend was still going to her to get her hair done. And so I stopped talking to that friend too. For like a little split second because I was just so salty because I thought this girl was like the perfect person and then my friend was going to get her hair done by her. I don't know. And fast forward 2 years, no wait, 15, 16, 17, 18. Fast forward 3 years. Since she was a hairdresser, I decided to reach out because my apartment complex had a box of like hair supplies and stuff. And like weird shit, I don't know, for hair. They were cleaning it out and they were like, do you want this stuff? And so I just texted her a picture. Actually, I didn't even have her number anymore. I think I got a new phone and I didn't have her number anymore. But I ended up sending her a DM of the box with all the hair stuff in it. And I was like, hey, do you want this? My apartment complex said that I could have it. And I don't know, like, do you want it? And she was like, no, thank you. And I was like, okay. So that was the last time I talked to her. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Yeah. That friend though, Erica, she still goes to get her hair done by her. I don't care anymore because I'm so over it. But how? How did she make a friend out of the person I thought I was gonna be in love with? So that was the first girl I went on a date with. That was my first Tinder date with a girl, my first love with a girl. Honestly, it's weird because I'm sure she wasn't in love with me, but how I felt, like I was like fucking head over heels for this chick. So I would say that was my first love of a girl. Like, maybe not in love with, but like love of a girl. If you guys like this story time, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below. Who was your first Tinder date, or who was your first girl date or gay date? let me know because I want to hear these stories. And I will see you guys in this video right here. Bye.